This is the new Canon EOS R5 Mark II, the ultimate hybrid camera designed to elevate your photography and videography experience. Equipped with a stunning 45 megapixel full-frame sensor with up to 30 frames per second continuous burst shooting. It also supports 8K 60p RAW internal video recording and houses a new Digic Accelerator to turbocharge your focusing, whilst all within a compact and lightweight body that ensures portability without compromising on quality. Canon kindly invited us to Munich for the European announcement of both the EOS R1 and the EOS R5 Mark II. The first evening included a presentation on the new cameras, with insights from product experts and professionals who have already used the kit. The next morning we collected our samples and hopped on a bus to a local sports arena where various scenarios have been set up for us to test the cameras in. For many years, the 5 series of cameras have been the go-to for many professionals thanks to their outstanding video and stills capabilities across multiple genres throughout the industry, and the EOS R5 Mark II will continue this legacy. At its heart we find a brand new 45 megapixel full-frame back-illuminated stacked CMOS sensor, which is a first for an EOS R5 series of cameras. There are many benefits to having a stacked sensor, with the obvious one being the speed, thanks to the faster readouts, but it also helps in reducing distortion and supports the dual pixel AF. This camera is designed to handle speed, and Canon's new accelerated capture unlocks its full potential. Using the same technology seen in the EOS R1, Canon has combined the Digic X and a new Digic Accelerator, which is essentially another processor to analyse the huge amount of data that's now being generated. This information is then working in partnership with the deep learning technology to bring a whole host of improvements to the autofocus, image quality in both stills and video, along with the camera's overall reliability. The latest version of dual pixel CMOS is available and has the catchy name of Dual Pixel Intelligent AF. This brings many improvements, including the ability to more accurately track your subjects, identify the head and upper bodies of players, along with avoiding obstacles or other players who aren't being tracked. You can also register specific faces within the camera for people who you wish to prioritise within your frame. You can store up to 10 faces on the camera and more via the memory card, but this will allow you to prioritise the players of a team, the bride, groom and in-laws, or someone giving a speech in a crowd of people. Something that really stood out to me was the low light performance of the autofocus, especially when shooting the Breakdancers. Not only did it happily lock on whilst they were in the spotlight, but as they walked off into the darkness as you see here, their head and faces were still being tracked. A newly added action priority mode allows you to tailor what the camera sees and how that information is read. Canon has worked hard developing this mode, and the camera picks up on spherical balls whilst reading the movements of the players to predict and prioritise those in a desired position. Currently we have the choice of football, basketball and volleyball to select from, and I can imagine more sports will come in the future, but you can see here through my viewfinder that the focus switches between the players as it predicts who's taking the lead. It's also quite impressive considering that there are multiple balls visible throughout my frame. With its high-resolution sensor, it's impressive to see that the Mark II is capable of shooting at up to 30 frames per second, ideal for when capturing dynamic and fast-paced action. This is possible at the full resolution of 45 megapixels and leaves you with a video-like collection of images while scrolling through them in post. We also see a 60% reduction in the rolling shutter when compared to the Mark I, helping to minimise any distortion when using the electronic shutter. Now, with most things you don't always have to use them at their highest performance. In a wedding situation, for example, those 30 frames per second are probably a little bit excessive, but you can tailor your desired settings to find the optimum burst rate for your subjects, whether that's as low as 2, 3 or 5 frames per second, or 10, 12 or 20. There is also the option to custom set buttons on the camera, so you can go from your chosen lower frame rates to the full 30 frames per second at a simple one button press. Pre-continuous shooting is available, allowing you to capture 15 shots before fully pressing the shutter button, hopefully meaning that you'll never miss that once in a lifetime moment. We have seen similar features in other brands, and this can be utilised in so many different scenarios, whether a penalty being taken, the starting line of a race, the bouquet being thrown at a wedding, or a bird taking flight. It really is a valuable tool helping you to capture split-second shots. When it comes to video, the 5 series of cameras from Canon have always set the bar high, and the Mark II doesn't disappoint. You can shoot at 8K up to 60p in RAW, all internally, using the full width of the sensor. 12-bit RAW is available along with both 8K 30p and MP4, and 4K up to 120p with audio capture too. There are of course many other options to choose from in your setup, but the quality of the footage is remarkable, and you can now shoot longer than before thanks to an improved heat dissipating design. Graphite sheets and aluminium plates help to shift the heat away, and the card slots are separate from the sensor and engine board to help keep everything as cool as possible. We also find vents at the bottom and side of the camera, along with an optional grip, the CF R20EP, with its built-in fan for forcibly cooling the R5. Canon is stating recording times of up to 120 minutes or more when shooting in 8K 30p, and the time I had inside of the arena was really hot, yet I had no overheating issues throughout shooting. With such a high resolution, it's easy to understand why both pro and cinema level users would have their eyes on the Mark II, and thanks to the likes of internal RAW, video proxies, structured folders and C-Log 2 and 3, the R5 will happily partner up and complement Canon's higher cine line of cameras. The pictures match up well, as you can see here on the monitor, making post-production a breeze. One of the most important features in a hybrid system is its stabilization. Capable of compensating up to 8.5 stops in the center of your frame, or 7.5 around the peripheral, the Mark II utilizes both its body and optical stabilization of the lens. For those on the go, working in sports, wildlife or press, being able to upscale your images without the need of a third-party device is now possible thanks to the deep learning image upscaling. Simply head to the playback menu and select in-camera upscaling, where you can choose to process one or multiple images. Once selected, the camera will process your image and increase it by 4 times its original resolution, whilst reducing the noise thanks to Canon's neural network noise reduction. This increases your images from 45 megapixels to a whopping 180. The process uses the JPEG image, so some prior compression has obviously already taken place. But as you can see from the image on the right, it's a much larger file size and resolution. The electronic viewfinder sees an upgrade, inheriting the eye control autofocus for the first time in an EOS R5 camera. Once calibrated through the menu in a few simple steps, the camera will actually detect where your eye is looking by measuring an infrared light reflecting off of your eye. It is actually 2 times better than the version found in the EOS R3, with a higher pixel count sensor, enhanced LEDs and an upgraded detection algorithm. This is ideal for fast-moving subjects, where previously positioning the AF point to start with is sometimes tricky. I have to say that it did take a little getting used to, but after a short time, the little circle in the viewfinder moved throughout the frame, following my eye. The viewfinder is big, nearly twice as bright as the Mark I, and is a pleasure to use. It is of course blackout free, so tracking your subjects throughout the frame was a breeze. Powering the Mark II is a new LP E6P battery. It's the same shape and size as the previous versions, but the battery has a higher output for those power-hungry features like the 8K video recording. Much like on the Mark I, we find 2 card slots, one CF Express Type B and one UHS 2 compatible SD slot. This mixture of media allows for the full performance of the Mark II, saving the higher data files to the CF Express, but you can also tailor your setup by separating the stills and video. The R5 Mark II weighs in at 746 grams with both the memory cards and battery installed, and it is of course dust and water resistant in its structure. With a rugged magnesium alloy body, you can confidently go in harsher environments without the worry of damaging the camera. The Canon EOS R5 Mark II is a true game changer for photographers and videographers alike. Its 45 megapixel full frame sensor, super fast 30 frames per second burst shooting, and the breathtaking 8K 60p raw video recording redefine what's possible. Combined with the new Digic Accelerator for improved focusing and housed in a compact and lightweight body, this camera is designed to take your creativity to new heights and is ideal for true hybrid shooters. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe, ring that bell to get notifications of all our latest content. If you'd like any more information, please check out the link below or pop into your local London Camera Exchange.